What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So at this point there has been a ton of discussion on the initial reveal of Pokemon Sword and Shield, and lots of things have been analyzed and theorized and speculated upon, but today I'm back again with a new topic, and it's one that I don't think any Pokemon fan would ever get tired of, and that's new Pokemon. In the reveal trailer we only got the official reveal of the 3 starter Pokemon, but there seemed to be a few other Pokemon that were indirectly shown off, or even only made it into a few frames of the trailer that are definitely worth talking about. Now, it is very important to note here that these are only likely going to be new Pokemon at this point, and are not 100% confirmed to be actual Pokemon. In this video, we are simply going to be taking a look at each one of these most likely a Pokemon and analyze them as much as we can to try and get an idea of what we can expect when they are, in all likelihood, officially revealed. This is purely for the sake of discussion and fun though, so don't get too heated if you hear something you don't agree with, but with all of that being said, let's get started. Now this first one is really interesting. Literally visible for only one frame, this guy can be seen in the stadium battle sequence between Lucario and Tyranitar, but can only be seen on the first frame that Tyranitar is on the screen, and that's it. Now, it's very hard to make out what this Pokemon actually is, because technically we can't even see its whole body, but from what we can see, it very much looks to be like some kind of dog or wolf type of Pokemon, and due to its presence on the side of the stadium alongside some text in a logo type format, it looks to be some kind of mascot for whatever this new Stadium League is that Galar seems to feature. That's the reason why I'm almost certain that it is a new Pokemon as well, because in addition to not really looking like any Pokemon we currently know, if it's featured in the branding of this region's Pokemon League, or at the very least their stadium, it's not very likely that it would be a Pokemon that's native to another region, cause that just doesn't make any sense. Finally, it kind of seems like this Pokemon has some kind of lightning bolt design towards the back half of its body, which even though this could just be the artistic style of the logo, it could also indicate an electric type for this Pokemon, and frankly, the idea of getting some super speedy looking electric wolf Pokemon in this game has me all kinds of excited. So these next two, because this one is kind of a 2-for-1 situation, are particularly noteworthy for several different reasons. One of those being that even though they're most likely Pokemon, we can't even really say for sure if they are yet, because I would of course be talking about the 2 wolf Pokemon that appear in the logos of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now this is a really interesting situation because we don't usually see the legendary Pokemon of a region represented in a game's logo. In fact, one of the few times we have seen it was in Pokemon X and Y, which is rather convenient considering all of the other seemingly close connections between Kalos and Galar. Anyway, it's rather obvious that it's happening this time around to portray a royal coat of arms, so to speak, that are so prevalent and important in the UK, which Galar is based on. However, even with that in mind, it's still very likely that these 2 wolf heads do represent Pokemon, because if the logos are meant to be a royal coat of arms, it wouldn't make any sense for the animals depicted not to be Pokemon in the world of Pokemon. But with that being said, another peculiar thing here is that they are both wolves. We actually have seen this once before with Zekrom and Reshiram, both being dragons in black and white, but most of the time it does not happen for box art legendaries. Rather, the box art legendaries always represent opposite things, like gold and silver, land and sea, time and space, life and death, the sun and the moon, and so on. So if these wolf Pokemon naturally would not be opposites in physical form, like so many other legendaries, they would have to be made opposites in some other way. We did in fact see this happen with the Unova legendaries as they were given the black and white yin and yang theme, so what exactly could these wolves be given to differentiate them? Well, glossing over countless comments and opinions on the game over the past few days, I have seen one idea that's rather interesting. Naturally, you'd expect there to be at least a few Pokemon in this region based on things in British culture, and one of the biggest things in pop culture right now that takes a lot of inspiration from the UK is Game of Thrones. Thrones. The setting of Game of Thrones is the continent of Westeros, which, much like Galar, is directly based on the UK and comes originally from the book series A Song of Ice and Fire. So what if these wolf Pokemon were Ice type and Fire type respectively? The logos of the games themselves are also red and blue, which fits into this, and there's even a bit of mythology that can potentially tie into this as well. In Norse mythology, there are two wolves known as Skull and Hati, who are said to chase the sun and moon, which could very easily correlate to fire and ice, and would also do a good job of connecting to Pokemon's incredible underground framework of inspirational mythology, since the legendaries of Gen 6 also had a root in Norse mythology, and obviously the sun and moon connect to Solgaleo and Lunala in Gen 7. At this point, it's hard to say how on the nose or not this actually is, but it does make conceptual sense and is at the very least something to keep in mind moving forward, and makes for some fun speculation. Backtracking a little bit though, we're now going to be taking a look at a possible new Pokemon that appeared right at the beginning of the trailer, and that would be these bird Pokemon that we see off in the distance. Now, we literally can't see any detail on these ones outside of the fact that they are birds, and this is honestly just for the sake of discussion anyway, so don't get your pants in a bunch if you don't actually think these are brand new Pokemon, because like I said, this is just for fun. But one other thing we can tell about them is that they are actually really big. Like, look at the huge wings on this one at the head of the pack. Going frame by frame, you can actually see some glimpses of this guy with his wings spread out that show that he is a big hulking boy. In addition to this, we are naturally going to get some new bird Pokemon in this generation anyway, so the idea of possibly getting some giant big bird like this is very exciting, because the bigger birds of prey Pokemon like Staraptor, Pidgeot, Talonflame, Braviary, and so on are all amazing, and I would love for Pokemon Sword and Shield to add to that list. And last but certainly not least, we now come to the most obvious one of all, the one that has everybody talking, the infamous hill figure Pokemon. Now, right off the bat, we can notice two things about this guy. One, he's obviously present right on the side of this hill, but two, he's not alone, as we can see a number of other little Martian-looking guys by its feet as well. Now, I want to start this off by saying I believe these are representing people and not Pokemon. I know some people have speculated or theorized that the little guys could be Meltan and the big guy is Melmetal, but honestly, I don't really buy that for a second, because frankly, the big guy looks nothing like Melmetal. Even as a crude drawing, I don't think it resembles him at all. Like, I think if the cavemen of the time, or whoever drew this, even with their somewhat primitive intellect and limited art supplies, would still have been able to make this look a little bit more like Melmetal and, oh, I don't know, actually give it the massive arms that Melmetal is known for, instead of those tiny T-Rex looking things. Anyway, as for what I think it actually is, I'm a bit torn. It's obviously most likely a legendary Pokemon of some kind, and this scene seems to depict it using its full power against something. It does kind of look like it's terrorizing the people, but then again, I don't know why exactly you'd want to commemorate that rather dark period of time by emblazing it onto the side of a giant hill for time and all eternity. As for the powers it's using though, it's obviously using some kind of electrical powers, and then I think it could either be breathing fire or blowing wind. The latter would make more sense with the electricity and would give this Pokemon some kind of weather controlling capabilities similar to Tornadus or Thundurus. Finally, as far as the actual creature it could be based on, it looks most like a humanoid form, but it could also be a dragon of some kind, even if it didn't have wings. My money's on that possibility just because we don't usually see humanoid Pokemon that often, and they're kind of hit and miss anyway, so here's hoping that whatever this thing is, it turns out awesome. And there we have it, everybody. It'll definitely be interesting to see what fate has in store for these 5 mystery Pokemon, and whether or not they will actually make it into the Galar region Pokedex. I absolutely believe they will for reasons I just stated, and that's why I made this video, but it's also just something that's fun to talk about while we wait for the next batch of news. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to give it a like, and let me know in the comments below if you agree with my ideas for these possible Pokemon, or if you have your own ideas about what they could become. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more new Pokemon content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, including plenty more new Sword and Shield content as well. You can also check me out on Spotify and give some of my remixes there a listen if you'd like, as it does directly support the channel here on YouTube and is always greatly appreciated. With all of that being said though, I will be back with another video on Thursday, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as it goes live. And with all of that being said, you know I love you guys, and I will smell you guys later.